Welcome back to Nancy Drew University, where we're hosting a weekly study sesh focusing on different topics from Nancy Drew history. Have you ever wondered how many Nancy Drew mysteries there are in total?
The Nancy Drew Mystery Stories began in 1930 with 56 titles in the main series.
The first 34 books have both an original and a revised text, so we'll add an additional 34 to that number.
The mystery stories continued in paperback form with the Wanderer editions, the Minstrel editions, and the Aladdin editions.
The Nancy Drew Notebooks were a series for younger children featuring third grade Nancy that were set in the same universe as the mystery stories. There were 69 notebooks.
There were also several collections of short stories published in the 1980s, such as the Ghost Stories and the Hardy Boys Super Sleuths crossovers. There were 32 of these short stories in total, so we'll add 32 to the list. Also, there were 6 books in a choose-your-own-adventure type of series that was a crossover with the Hardy Boys.
That's all for the mystery stories, but we still have a lot more books to go. Join us for more in part 2.
Welcome back to Nancy Drew University. This week, we're counting up the total number of Nancy Drew mysteries. In part 1, we left off with 316 mysteries in the main series, so what about the other book series? In 2004, Simon & Schuster decided to end the Mystery Stories series and replace it with the Nancy Drew Girl Detective series, which had 29 books. This was followed by an additional 18 books which were in a trilogy format. The series also had 3 super mysteries and a volume of ghost stories, which includes 4 total short stories.
Like the Notebook series, the Clue Crew series served as the Girl Detective companion series for younger children.
There was a 6-volume crossover super mystery series between the Girl Detective series and the Hardy Boys equivalent series under Clever Brothers.
Paper Cuts released 21 graphic novels based on the Girl Detective series, followed by 3 novels set in a vampire-riddled River Heights.
In 2013, the Girl Detective series was replaced with the Nancy Drew Diaries, which has 25 volumes so far, plus a Christmas special, and is still being published today. It also has a younger series associated with it, the Nancy Drew Clue Books.
That was the main series of books and their spin-offs. Join us in the next part for the rest of the books, plus all of the adaptions.
Welcome back to Nancy Drew University. This week, we're counting up the total number of Nancy Drew mysteries. In part 2, we left off with 485 mysteries in the main series, so what about the spin-offs? In 1986, Simon & Schuster decided to create a new young adult series to run alongside the mystery stories. They called it the Nancy Drew Files, and there were 124 books in the series.
The Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys Super Mysteries were a crossover between the Files and the Hardy Boys equivalent, the Case Files.
The Files actually had a spin-off series called River Heights that starred Nancy's neighbor. However, Nancy only makes a small cameo in the first book in the series, and these weren't mystery novels, so we won't count these in the total.
In 1995, they created a separate series aimed at a young adult audience and called it Nancy Drew on Campus. These were more drama-focused, but they do star Nancy, so we'll add them to the list.
Dynamite Comics has published 5 graphic novels so far and is still publishing them to this day.
Both the 2007 Emma Roberts movie and the 2019 CW show have a novelization, so we'll add 2 more, and that brings us to the end of the books.
But that's not all of the Nancy Drew mysteries. Join us for part 4 as we add up all the adaptations.
Welcome back to Nancy Drew University. This week we're counting up the total number of Nancy Drew mysteries. In part 3, we counted 667 total Nancy Drew mysteries, but we haven't added any adaptions to that count. There are currently 34 Nancy Drew PC games by Her Interactive, plus Secrets Can Kill Remastered and the 2 Dossier games.
THQ and Majesco each made 2 games for Nintendo DS.
There have been many Nancy Drew board game adaptations, but because Mystery at Magnolia Gardens and One Step Ahead are both Mystery in a Box games, and they're technically the only ones that involve an actual mystery, we'll just add 2 to the list for this category.
How about movies? Benita Granville starred as Nancy in 4 movies between 1938 and 1939. Maggie Lawson did a TV movie in 2002, Emma Roberts in 2007, and Sophia Lillis in 2019.
Pamela Sue Martin was the first to portray Nancy on TV in 1977 in the Hardy Boys Nancy Drew Mysteries, which had 46 episodes across 3 seasons. However, Nancy was featured in only 18 of those episodes, so we'll add 18 to the count.
Tracy Ryan starred as Nancy in 13 episodes in 1995. The show also ran alongside a Hardy Boys show in which Nancy guest starred in 2 episodes.
Kennedy McMahon is the most recent Nancy, having recently completed a 62-episode run on the CW show that began in 2019.
And there we have it, 812 total mysteries and counting. Sounds like we have our work cut out for us when it comes to covering them all. Stay tuned for more Nancy Drew history.